So just for the interest of time, I pre-edited this code and just copy pasted it here so that we can kind of go through and I can explain this pretty quickly. So this is where you define the browser. You're saying headless false, which means that it's going to open the browser. Slow-mo is like an implicit wait. You're just slowing down the pace at which it's going to execute the test. So here I've given it as 100 milliseconds. And then this is again, you're defining the page, which says that you want to launch a new page. So that's what this is. And then what you're doing is then you're going to do an async call. You use the command await, and then you say page go to, and this is the website I'm using. It's called http example.com. This basic site, this is the site that I'm hitting. You can hit any other site that you have in mind. You can do that. And then I'm basically saying that you can again kind of scrape the title, and just for clarity I'm just putting it into a log, like just to display it, and I show it to you as a title. Same thing with the URL. So this is pretty much the basic test that I have right now. We can just run this, but before running that I need to kind of go and make one change in the package.json to run this test. This doesn't make any sense, so I need to remove that and use the Mocha library to run the test. So let's update that. So I'm just going to go grab this again. I don't want to make any typo, so let's grab that. So copy. So copy. So it's basically a node module, and then I'm saying go into the Mocha library under bin and then execute the test Mocha. And then I have given this as a global implicit statement of 30 seconds, and then I'm just saying run the test from the folder of first test.js. So that's pretty much what it is. So this is the only change that you need to do. And so one other change that I had to make was it was not test, it is test-project, and you need to specify that path right for it to run. So let's try running it. So let's go back into our first.js, and it's just going to open this page and then close it. It's going to do this certain displays, and we can see that. So let's run npm run test. That's the command that you have to give, and as you will see, it opened the browser and closed it. It was so fast that you didn't even see it. Like I said before, it does execute it quite fast. So I'm just going to make this 5 seconds to see if that'll help you to see it a little bit more clearly. There, example and domain. So you can imagine if I make this, let's make this 10 seconds so that we can see it a little bit more clearly. There you go. It's a 10-second wait, so it's going to close after 10 seconds. That's a little too long, but I just wanted to show you. And there it passed, and it also kind of scraped the title, which is example domain, and then the URL for that is http example.com. So I'm just going to comment this out, and I also want to show it to you headless. You can see how quick this runs. So this took like almost 12 seconds to run, and let's see how long this takes. And we're running it headless. So let me save that. So you can see how quick it ran. It was just like 1.6 seconds. So this is what I wanted to show you all. I'm going to write a few more code here and just to show you the power of it, and then we can wrap this. So I've introduced a new library called Chai, which is used for assertions. So you can see, like, after I log, I'm also trying to do an assertion to show you how this can be done. So it's very simple. You say expect, then get the title to be a, and then you say the string that you want to assert. And in this case, I'm doing example.com. With the URL, you say expect URL to include the URL name. In this case, it's example.com. So this is a very simple way to do an assertion. As you kind of learn more about the framework, you can do more complex assertion. But what I want to kind of emphasize is that it's pretty straightforward, very English-like, very easy to understand. So what I've done further in this test is to show how you can go forward and back on a page. So I'm just going from an example.com to Google, then I'm going back to example.com, and then I'm doing a selector to say this selector is kind of visible before you go forward. And that's pretty much this test. So going back and forth between example and Google. In this case, there is another website that I have kind of used. You can see as we execute this, and then I'm typing in my name, and I'm also like checking for a drop down, and I'm selecting a drop down, which is a JavaScript API. That's the selection box where you have a text called javascript.api. I'm selecting that, and then I'm kind of submitting the button, and I finish the test. So these are the two tests that I'm kind of demoing here. So let's run it and see what it looks like. So npm run test is going to run the first test. So example.com, it went to Google, it went back to example.com. So it's just going back and forth, but just see the speed at which. This is the other website that I mentioned. It types in my name, it picked up the JavaScript API, and then it said, thank you. That's pretty much it. So the speed at which it's running is really amazing, and that's what I wanted to show you. We can just run this headless, and you can see how quick it runs. So let's do that here. So I say true to make it headless, and also for this test, I'm just going to make it headless and just run the same test. It doesn't open a browser in this case. And now when you run it, it's going to show it as headless. So it's not opening the browser. The first test is done. It's running the second test. And I have a few wait command, like here it's for 5 seconds, so that's why wait, it's going to run much quicker. So same here, if I just take that out, and then if I run it, it's going to run much quicker. So let's run that. So it finished the first test. Yeah, there you go. Much quicker. This probably took 5 seconds with the second test and 4 seconds. So pretty much in 9 seconds it's completed, or under 10 seconds it completed this test. So this is the advantage of running with Puppeteer, is that you can run it headless, and you can run it also in the browser. And like as I've demoed here, the commands are pretty straightforward. If you have done Selenium or any other framework, you can kind of see that it's very English-like, very easy to understand, and it's you should use this in your project. I'm sure the front-end guys would really like to use this for a functional. Pretty much 3 libraries that you need: Puppeteer, Chai, and Mocha, and you're good to go. So thank you for watching, and if there is any additional things that I want to add, I will add to this, and probably a little bit more advanced page objects that I'm going to add in future demos. Till then, goodbye, have a great day.